in a while, but we're going to go over how to figure out if a table is a linear function, exponential function, or neither. So I just wanted to go through these first two, and then you all can finish up these last two on your own for homework. I know some of you probably already finished these. This is just so that you can see how to go through it and check. Let's start with this first one. And what you have to do is you just figure out what's the difference between each of these, right? So what's going on here? Well, to get from -1 to 0, you have to add 1. To get from 0 to 1, you add 1. And to get from 1 to 2, you add 1. All right, so it looks like we're good on this side. And then we have to look at the right side. So to get from 1 to 0, you have to subtract 1. To get from 0 to 1, you have to add 1. And then to get from 1 to 4, you have to add 3. So since we're looking and we have an irregular grouping of numbers, we go -1, +1, +3. If I check and see, is it linear, exponential, or neither? This one's neither. It has to go up by a constant rate. So neither. All right, so let's go over here and we're going to try out this second one. So we have to check what's going on here. From -2 to -1, add 1. From -1 to 0, you add 1. And from 0 to 1, you add 1. So we're good on this side. So let's check the right side. From 4 to 2, you have to subtract or divide by 2. To go from 2 to 1, you also divide by 2. And to get from 1 to 0.5, you have to divide by 2. So now we have to figure out what is that in multiplication. So if you're dividing by 2, it's the same thing as multiplying by 1/2. And that's that reciprocal that we've talked about before. So times 1/2 and times 1/2. Okay, so we have our two pieces. I'm checking, is it a function? Okay, I go up by a constant rate on the left. Do I go up by a constant rate on the right? Yes, I do. I multiply by 1/2 each time. So if I'm looking over here and I need to figure out, is it linear or is it exponential? Because it is one of them. If it's linear, that would mean addition on both sides the whole time. But since I have multiplication, I have multiplication on the right, it's actually exponential. So that's how you check. Is it all multiplication, or do we have, or is it all addition, or does it have some multiplication in there? If it has some multiplication, then it's going to be exponential. Let's go ahead and then write it as a exponential equation. So I'm going to use this equation since we decided it was exponential. Y equals a times b to the power of x. So we know from writing equations, we keep y and x as is. And my a, if we remember from our notes, is our y-intercept, or our starting value. And that's where x is 0. You have to figure out what y is. So on this table, when x is 0, y is 1. So we actually just put a 1 right there. And then the b is our multiplier. And that's what's being multiplied by in each side. So in this case, we've multiplied by 1/2. So our multiplier is 1/2. and then just to the power of x. And that's it. So I want you to do 3 and 4 on your own. And remember, when you're counting up, you go and you're adding. I guess I'll start this one for you. We're going up by 1. And then here, we're also adding on this one. We're going up by 2. Remember, in order to have an exponential equation, we need there to be multiplication. It has to have a multiplier, or this times 1/2. But in this, it's addition all the way through. So if it's not an exponential equation, which one is it? All right. If you have questions, reach out to me. And good luck. You guys have got this.